Welcome back to another episode of the Inquisitive Mamba Podcast. This is episode 124. Hope everyone is having a great day, great night, wherever you are around the world. On tonight's show for the Inquisitive Mamba Podcast, I got my co-host Max Adams joining me here. We got the NFL to talk about, the MLB World Series with the Dodgers and the Yankees. Halloween is tomorrow. Anthony Richardson's benching for the Gators. Yes, I'm wearing a Gators t-shirt. I guess got this shirt in the mail last week. Halloween tomorrow. Nothing really going on in the NBA. Obviously, the Bronny James news last week. But yeah, Patriots, Jets. I actually got to go to Gillette this past weekend. That was awesome to see. Max, your Bengals lost 37-17. I don't know what the hell happened there. We'll get into that. Is prime Russell Wilson back for the Steelers? 6-2 the Steelers are. Justin Fields obviously 4-2 as a starter. Russell Wilson has won the last two games for the Steelers. So without further ado, let's get into tonight's show. I'm super excited for this one. Max, how was your weekend?
It was great, Joe. Went out on the boat. Had a good time.
Yeah. Well, what happened to your Bengals? They lost 37-17.
We suck.
They're 3-5. Joe Burrow said that he thinks that they can win 7 out of the 9 games remaining, and he thinks that they'll they'll win 7 out of 9 games remaining. Do you have any confidence as a Bengals fan being 3-5 right now? Do you think you could still make the playoffs?
I mean, of course we can still make the playoffs, but like we said last week, like we need to trade for some defense. Like I mean, the Bengals are not big midseason moves kind of team, but like we just have no talent on our defense. It is. Is there like Hutchinson? Mm-hmm. Like, there's really not much we've got going.
Is there any possibility that the Bengals could trade T. Higgins and pick up a defensive piece? Would you be okay with that, or do you want to keep T? Obviously, I mean, no, he's a free agent after this year.
He's not. We can still franchise
tag him, but would you be willing to trade him if you could get a defensive piece, like a good defensive piece?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to trade picks. Like, why not picks? Why are we talking about T?
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, I just speak just because he's the guy that comes in.
But T is has 6 games left on his contract. No one's going to take T for a solid defensive player.
Yeah, maybe the Jets could use him.
Yeah, they need another receiver.
Oh yeah, for sure. Devontae Adams. Yeah, most definitely.
I mean,
yeah,
everyone's talking about Max Crosby. Like,
yeah,
put Max Crosby in there. I don't know. We need something.
Yeah, I mean 3-5. I mean that'd be a big shakeup there. You put him next to Hendrickson.
Offense is not. I mean, we only scored 17 against the Eagles, but like that last pick was basically a fluke. I mean,
I saw that ending.
Was a fluke. To be fair, he did throw it into double coverage, but yeah, I think our offense has been great. We scored scoring 25 points a game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was a good game for most of it. I mean, 37-17, you might look at the box score and say, oh, it was a blow up, but it was 24-17 for like that time I saw there. And then Gardner Johnson at the end had that tipped interception. So it really wasn't a blowout. It was neck and neck the entire way. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So the Bengals, do you know who they play this upcoming Sunday?
Yes, I do. Raiders.
Oh, wow. So fitting if they were able to trade for Max Crosby. That should be a win. That's a win. 100%. The Raiders are not. Joe. The Raiders aren't very good.
Let's see. I'm not
sure.
Let's test. The
let's
7
do it.
Let's
do
it.
Joe Burrow.
We can win 7 of 9.
Okay, so you got the Raiders up next.
All right. Well, we'll take that as a win.
Yes. So 4-5.
Then the Ravens. We're gonna take that as probably a loss, even though we only lost by 2 to them last game.
I'm gonna say they beat them. I'm gonna say you're at 5-5. You split AFC divisional matchup. I'm gonna say 5-5.
Oh, we lost by 4 to them. Oh,
right. That was a close game.
Where was it? We lost by 3.
Yes, that was that insane Lamar touchdown on the run, the rollout. You guys went into overtime with them. Okay, so now you've got your 5-5. You're sitting at 5-5. Let's just say you win these 2 games. Who do you got next?
Okay, Chargers.
In LA or in Cincinnati?
In LA.
Okay. Well, the Chargers aren't that good. I mean, they're decent. I'll say you lose that one in LA. So you're 5-6.
Okay. Steelers. We have to beat the Steelers, right?
Oh, you got it. Oh. All right. Let me change that real quick. You'll beat the Chargers, you'll lose to the Steelers. So now you're sitting at what, 6-5? Okay.
Then we play the Cowboys.
They haven't been that good, but Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and Deron Bland are going to come back here shortly. So is it in AT&T, or is it at Cincinnati? It's got to be at Cincinnati, right?
And no, it's in Detroit.
Or
Sorry,
Dallas. Of course it is. Okay. That's a toss up there. I guess I'll go Dallas. November football. Is this in November we're at now? Yeah, it's got to be December. Okay. Let's see here. All right, I'll go Dallas. So now you're 6-6. Okay.
Then we got Titans.
Okay, that's a win. The Titans suck. They have Mason Rudolph and Will Levis.
Titans, Browns,
so
Broncos, 3 in a row.
7-6 should beat the Browns. Okay, wait, that's only 9-6 though. You need one more. No, you need 2.
Then we finish the games with the Steelers.
Okay, so all right, I'll say you guys go 10-7. Is that going to get you into the playoffs? It should, but you're not going to win the division at 10-7, so you get in as a wild card, right? Okay. So running the table 7 out of 9. I don't know if it was that 7 out of 9.
If we beat the, let's see. You said we lose to the Chargers.
No, I said
the Steelers and the boys.
Right. So that'll put you at 7. Yeah.
I mean, if we could win the divisional games, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Steelers again.
Oh man. It's either going to stay ugly from here and keep going downhill, or you pick up steam like Burrow says they will, and they'll finish out 9-8, 10-7, somewhere in there. I think they could finish positive. I mean, I trust Joe Burrow late in the season there. As long, obviously the offense is playing well,
playing flawlessly.
Yeah, it's just the defense.
Yeah,
but we'll
flawlessly. But I mean, he's probably the best quarterback in the league right now.
Him and Josh Allen, I would say, right? Yeah. But yeah, let's go. Who are the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now? You got to go Joe Burrow. This is no order, so don't get upset. Comment, people. Let's go Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Josh Allen. There's 3 right there. Playing at the highest level. Patrick Mahomes is not playing as a top 5 quarterback right now. So you got Jared Goff.
He's my fantasy quarterback. He's shit.
You have Jared Goff. You have Joe Burrow, Josh Allen,
Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar, of course. And then could you throw in Matthew Stafford? He's played, I know they're 3-4, but he's played pretty well. Stafford. Okay, you got Stafford, you got Darnold. Darnold is kind of been in these past 2 weeks. Stafford's right there. You got
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, but he's going a little slow to start the season. I would go my top 5. I would go no order. I'd go Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, and Matthew Stafford. Those would be my 5 right there. Maybe if you want to take out Stafford, but I think at least those 4 right there. At least Stafford's played good ball these past few weeks though, and the Rams have been impressive, especially beating the Vikings there.
Kind of crazy how few solid quarterbacks there are this year.
There has not been that.
Mahomes out of the conversation. He's been a bottom half quarterback. He's a bottom 15 quarterback.
Yeah, sticking on that
just by play alone.
Yeah. He had a solid game against the Raiders last week. They had that tipped interception there at the end. They still won 27-20. Travis Kelce caught his first touchdown of the season. However, sticking on this Vikings-Rams game right here, did you see the ending of the game? You actually sent it to me with the face mask on Sam Darnold. How many times are we going to have this conversation about NFL refs? If the refs can't be held accountable, which obviously they can't, the stripes and zebras can't be held accountable, there should be reviews at the end of the game there, because in that situation, if the refs are able to go back and review, and I saw a thing today from Ari Meirov, he said that he had Dean Blandino on his podcast, they are potentially going to be allowing reviews. Now, obviously it won't be this season, but for the future, I think that the games, those types of penalties there that weren't called should be reviewed. If you've got a face mask there, if you've got a pass interference that could decide the outcome of a game, 100%. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they have refs watching the whole games anyway from New York, but
right.
So they should be able to call in and say, look, you missed this. We need to, yeah. Like
Shannon Sharp, when he had the red phone, I forget what year it was. He was playing, I don't know what team he was playing, but he busted up that team. Actually, you know what? I think it was in Foxborough, because I was listening to the Dudes on Dudes podcast, and Gronk and Edelman were talking about it. So when Shannon Sharp had the phone, do you remember that viral clip when he had the phone? Yeah, well, it's a while back. It's like one of those clips where it's like Shannon Sharp's talking his shit. But anyways, yeah. So Yeah, those types of plays there should be reviewed. Obviously, the Vikings could have played better. They lost 30-20. Obviously, one play does not decide the outcome of a game. However, in that situation there, that is a huge, huge play that the refs missed. It's a face mask, a blatant face mask that they missed. And I think that they should be reviewed late in the game. And that's kind of really how I feel about that. But yeah, like I said, I mean, that was an interesting one. But let's move on to the Steelers and the Giants game. The Steelers didn't look back against the Giants. I don't know what's going on with the Giants. Well, I do. They're just not a good football team. But I want to ask you this here. Did you see the George Pickens controversial touchdown that got called back? Did you see it where he dragged his foot, but he didn't have the second? What do you think of that? Was that a touchdown?
No.
I agree, but people were on the internet because it looked like he dragged his foot. A lot of people thought it was a touchdown.
His second foot didn't touch.
No, but
2 feet in bounds.
It's a weird camera angle though. At first it looked like it was a touchdown. That was a great throw by Russell Wilson there. That was a dime. However, I agree with you. That's not a touchdown. But people were up in arms and saying, "Oh, how can they not call it a touchdown?" Well, he didn't have 2 feet. He didn't have 2 of his feet down. But
simple.
I don't know. In that situation there, it was weird. But yeah, Steelers 6-2. First, Russell Wilson has won his last 2 starts for the Steelers. Could the Steelers win this division with the AFC North? You got the Ravens at 5-3.
So weird.
They just lost to the Browns. I mean, this is a weird division. I mean, that division, the AFC North, it's still really good in my opinion. The Bengals at 3-5. They can still really play with anybody in the league. The Ravens.
I think I saw odds today that the Bengals are still minus odds to make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs at 3-5. Well, yeah, you got the Raiders and the Titans. Those are 2 free wins there. But yeah, I mean, this division here is going to be a fun one to the end. I mean, what do the Steelers? Let me ask you this: what do the Steelers do with Justin Fields after this season? He played good his first 4 games. He was 4-2 as a starter, and now he's to the bench unless Russell Wilson gets hurt and whatever happens. But I mean, what do the Steelers do at the end of the season? Is Russell Wilson the guy for the future? What do you do with Fields?
I mean, what they did get is good trade value. Like Fields came in, he saved his career for another year at least. If he played horribly, he would have been probably bounced out of the league.
Let me ask you this here. I'm going to throw this trade proposition out. Actually, this was supposed to be one of the questions later in the show. A friend of mine asked me, what can the Giants do to save their season, or how can the Giants get in the playoffs? Well, I think your first thing here, you should go try to trade for Justin Fields. Because if he's just going to sit on the Steelers bench for the rest of the season, Daniel Jones sucks. Everybody knows that. He can't get out of his own way. You just saw this past Monday night they played the Steelers. I think, hey, throw a flyer on Justin Fields. I don't think the Steelers would trade for him, but hypothetically, I think it'd be interesting if the Giants were to throw a flyer at Justin Fields. What do you think?
I don't know. I think the Giants are doomed anyway. And
yeah, they are.
I don't see any Fields. I don't see Fields making any team that much better.
No, but I think he'd make the Giants. I think they make the Giants a little better than what Daniel Jones is doing. It's like
what's a good team? What's a good team that's really missing just a quarterback?
Well, I mean,
also,
the Raiders
just paid Jones. They're not getting rid of
it. Right. Well, until the end of the season, let's see what they do at the end of the season. I mean, the Raiders, I guess. I mean, they don't have a quarterback because Aiden O'Connell got hurt.
But they've already started.
Then they're back to Minshew. Right. They lost. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the only really other team I could think of would be, because if you go by team. I mean, AFC East, you got the Patriots. They don't need a QB. You got the Jets. They don't need a quarterback. Bills, no. Dolphins, no. AFC East out west, you got Raiders. They could use a quarterback. Broncos, no. They got Knicks. Mahomes, Chiefs, no. Chargers, Herbert, no. AFC West out. AFC South, you got the Texans, no. Stroud. You got the Colts with Flacco, Richardson. They're not going to do that there. Then you got the Titans. Maybe the Titans, they still suck. Then you got the Titans could. Then you got the Jaguars with Lawrence, no. And then you go to the NFC West. You got Stafford, Rams, no. Cardinals, Murray, no. Seahawks, Geno, no. And then Niners, Purdy, no. Then you go to the NFC North. You got the NFC North, you got the Vikings, Darnold, no. You got the Packers, Jordan Love, no. You got the Lions, Goff, no. Caleb Williams, Bears, no. Okay, out. NFC East, you got the Hurts with Eagles, no. Cowboys, Prescott, no. Jaden Daniels, Commanders, no. Giants, Jones. Okay, and then how many else are there left? Is there AFC South, I said that. AFC West, I said
NFC
that.
South.
AFC East, NFC South, Cowboys. Cousins, Falcons, no. Bucks, Mayfield, no. Saints, maybe, even though they're paying Derek Carr an arm and a leg. And then you got the Panthers with Bryce Young, who is back as the starter now, which he should have been the entire darn time. I think that's it, right? There's nobody left.
Yep.
I think that's it. Okay, I went into Rain Man mode for a second. My apologies. Okay, let's go back here. Let's bring this one up here. Anthony Richardson. This conversation has to be addressed. We have to talk about it. I'll give you credit because you have said this entire time that he has not been the guy. But the only thing that I have a problem with here is with the Colts, right? I know they brought in Shane Steichen as their head coach. He was the Eagles offensive coordinator for a short time there. Okay, they bring in Joe Flacco. Okay, you draft Anthony Richardson at 4. He has this freakish combine. He looks like he's the next guy. You have a mix of, Josh Allen. He's got the, intangibles all to be successful. He hasn't lived up to it. Well, the same thing with the conversation with Bryce Young in Carolina. He played a little bit. He played some few more games than Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, Max, has played a total of 10 games. I don't have his stats pulled up. You can pull his stats up. How are you going to judge a quarterback off of 10 games in the NFL? I'm not saying he's been good, but to sit there and pull him after 10 games, what is that going to do to him? He honestly too. He's another one. He doesn't have a lot of help around him. They put all the faith in him as a quarterback. It's been 10 games. I would say
I don't think it helps that Joe Flacco was playing well in that situation and he wasn't.
Joe Flacco was playing okay. Joe Flacco was playing better than Richardson, but in that situation there, he hasn't fully developed. And this is another thing too with people about Richardson. He never fully developed at Florida, Max. He never really got his feet under him at Florida. So that's another thing there. He was a project guy coming out of Florida, just like Josh Allen was a project coming out of Wyoming. A lot of these rookie guys, everyone expects these rookie guys right away off the bat to be the next Mahomes, the next Stroud. It's like, it doesn't work like that. So from now on, from the future, for this situation here, honestly, with the Colts, it's smart. Let Richardson sit behind Flacco, let him learn under Flacco and go from there because for the rest of this way, because obviously he's not this. Shane Steichen said that we're not going to be playing Richardson for the rest of this season. And it's Flacco's team to lose. So, but
I think he also, it's not just about his play too. Like, I think he lost a lot of respect in the league after he tapped himself out.
Yeah,
I've never seen
that was crazy.
No one has ever seen that. Every single sports broadcaster is like, that is
insane.
The most insane thing I've ever seen.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Like, have you ever seen an offensive lineman, like the people that actually are doing the work, like just tap out? Like,
no, yeah, I'm with you.
Insane.
Imagine if, listen to this. Imagine if Anthony Richardson did that on the Patriots when Bill Belichick was there. Imagine if Anthony Richardson did that when Bill Parcells was coaching. Imagine if he did that when Saban was coaching or Pete Carroll, the old heads. Oh my gosh. Wow. Bo Schembechler, Woody Hayes, all those old coaches. Oh my gosh. He would never see the field ever again. I mean, and it was funny. Micah Parsons said, he goes, just lie, bro. In that situation, do not tell the media that you're tired, and that you can't do that. You're just like, it's like you just let the cat out of the bag.
Even if he didn't say he was tired,
right?
Have you ever seen a quarterback take themselves out of the game?
No, I've never seen that.
Like,
I've seen
he just doubled. Yeah. He went double down. Like he doubled down and said
he double dipped.
Like he already did something that no one's ever done, and did it, and then made it 1,000 times worse by saying that.
Like in that situation, like we've never seen that before. And like that right there, it just goes to make you wonder, like, what in the world is going on? Because I mean, we've seen other situations in the past, but nothing like that. I mean, LeBron has checked himself out of a game, but he's, it's different in basketball.
You actually sub out.
Right. Yeah.
Don't sub out of the game.
I've never seen that before. But anyway, Stephon Diggs tore his ACL. I mean, the receiver bug has hit the NFL like crazy. You got Chris Godwin the week before. You got Diggs. Who else is out? Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL. I mean, there's been a handful of guys that have gotten injured this season. It's been crazy how many injuries. But Aaron's Ravens, they traded for Deontay Johnson. That was interesting there. He was on the Steelers and the Panthers. He finally found himself a new home. But yeah, Anthony Richardson's reps before he was benched. Mac Jones had 1,308. Richardson had 217. Kenny Pickett 713. Sam Howell 631. Bryce Young 583. Zach Wilson 572. Ritter 469. Do you think it was too early to give up on Richardson? Like, let's just say hypothetically. Richardson at 217. Hypothetically, let's just say Richardson didn't check himself out of the game and go, yeah, I'm tired. It's just to say he didn't do that. How would you feel? Would you say you continue to play him, or would you just go to Flacco in that situation?
I think the issue is that Flacco was playing well. He threw 7 touchdowns and threw 1 interception in 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a guy that just like played his heart out, and then you bring Anthony Richardson in. Yeah, I don't know that he gets benched if he doesn't say that, but I think that didn't help him.
I think you're I don't want to say you're not wrong, because what you said was 100% accurate. However, I think he was already on such a short leash. I actually talked about this when it was just me and I didn't have you recording with me a few weeks ago. I said, if Richardson continues to play like this, and I'm a Florida guy, you can call me a homer, whatever. I liked him. It's fun to watch. However, he threw one ugly interception against the Bears when they played in the red zone. You can go back and watch the clip. I know it got tipped like at the end, but man, it was a bad decision. And then he had some ugly throws in that game. So like this was like leading up to it. It's like, hey man, it's like a kid, right? It's like you keep peeing on the floor, you're gonna go in timeout. If you don't pee in the potty potty training, the little toilet thing, if you don't pee in that, you're gonna go in timeout. Just like a dog. If the dog keeps peeing on the floor, he's gonna be in timeout. So Richardson kept playing bad. And that's what happened. And like you said, the NFL, you're on a short leash. These owners, they're under so much, or the coaches are under so much pressure because the owners, the amount of money that goes into it. The Colts really haven't been jack squat since Andrew Luck left. And they draft Richardson, and he hasn't panned out. He really hasn't. Now, I know it's only 10 games, but what he did on Sunday, like you said, didn't help his case. But yeah, it remains to be seen, what will happen with his future. But let's talk about the Patriots and the Jets. We talked about your Bengals and the Eagles. Patriots ended up winning 25-22. I did not expect them to win this game. Max, I was at that game the entire time telling myself, there is no way they win this game. There is no way they win this game. I was telling my cousin, we were walking into the stadium, I'm like, no, they're absolutely not. There's no way. But they ended up winning. The only thing that sucked was Drake May got hurt, got a concussion. But Gerard Mayo, after the game, said, oh, he needs to protect himself more. Well, obviously, but the Patriots really don't have much to work with, so May is trying to do everything he can. But I honestly don't know what happened with Aaron Rodgers. I was completely wrong. I thought the Jets would be much better than they are. They're sitting at 2-6 right now. They got to play the Texans tomorrow night. Which is a big one there. But I'm so confused by the Jets. And then some people were wondering, oh, did the Patriots lose the number 1 pick because they won that game against the Jets? I mean, I hate that whole situation there. You got to go out there and play to win the games. Good for Brissett and the Patriots. They ended up winning. I did not expect them to win, but man, the refs were not on their side that entire game. It was fun to watch it in the stadium at Gillette, Max. I will say it was cool to go there.
It's always good to see a win when you're at the game.
I know. I said I did.
I don't have that experience very often when I go to the Bengals games.
I did not expect them to win. Hey, if I never go back, which that's not the case, I'm going to go back. But I was saying, if I never go back to Gillette and they got that one win, that I'm ecstatic. But it was fun. It was cool talking to fans and stuff. Some of the people who were next to me were actually betting on the game, so it was cool to talk to and kind of converse. But yeah, man, great experience. Honestly, it was cool seeing the 6 Super Bowls because being a Patriots fan all my life, getting to see, the accolades and everything up front, it was cool to see. The stadium's beautiful. Max, that Jumbotron they have there, $250 million Jumbotron. It's insane. But anyways, cool game, fun to watch. Patriots play the Titans this week. They should win. But last thing I'll say about the game, it was so fun watching Drake May before he got hurt. Like the crowd, everyone was into it. And then he went down with a concussion. And it just was like, oh. But anyways, yeah, I mean, what do you think is up with the Jets? Can they still make the playoffs sitting at 2-6?
I have no idea. They are a cluster fire.
2-6. I cannot believe it. I had the Jets winning the division, and I'll stand on a hill. I thought they would be. I thought maybe 10-7. They're not going to run the table. They look terrible. They can't. They lost to the Patriots last Sunday. I don't know what is up with the Jets. You went and got Devontae Adams. It didn't really help anything out. It's just. I don't know. Like I said, I think this is Rodgers' last year. I really do. But we'll get into that a little bit after. This is a good one here, though, for you. The Commanders' game-winning Hail Mary. They were down 15-12, and they threw Jaden Daniels scrolls around. He does his thing, and they throw an absolute bomb. Gets tipped up in the air. Noah Brown catches it. And the highlight of this is Tyreek Stevenson. He taunted Commanders fans, the Bears defensive back, before the play happened. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. It's like karma. It's like Taylor Swift's karma. Yeah, I cannot believe that. He's taunting fans like this. No. Because Commanders haven't seen anything or won anything ever. And he's taunting the fans. Like, there's no way you're going to complete this Hail Mary. There's no way. And then just throws it up, gets tipped. I mean, I cannot believe that. Did you watch it?
I think it wouldn't have stung as bad for the Bears if they didn't fumble on the goal line like the drive prior.
Uh-huh. I didn't see that, actually.
They handed it off to an offensive lineman.
Yep.
And I don't know if the offensive lineman went too early or if Caleb Williams dropped too hard. But it seemed like Caleb Williams was rushing to hand the ball to the offensive lineman.
Really?
And like the offensive lineman wasn't ready for it. Like they were too close and he was trying to reach back to get it. I think the offensive lineman was supposed to stay and then go forward, like stay where he was and then run once he got the ball.
Yep.
But as soon as the ball was snapped, he started running forward. And it was a bad fumble. The offensive lineman bounced the ball into the basically straight into the Commander's hands.
I honestly,
So like if you have a bad fumble on the end zone in a tight game that would have put you in the lead.
Yep.
That's one thing. But to call a trick play and then that trick play go wrong, that stings even more. Like you just look like an idiot. I'm just opening my blinds real quick and see if I get some light in here since my light died. There we go. Yeah, anyways, you just look dumb if you call a trick play and you fuck it up. Like so and then on top of that, they go back and they get a 3-and-out the next drive. They go down and score.
Yep.
I think. Yep. And then so they're like, okay, we made up for our error. Like that was a dumb call, but we're back.
Yep.
And then that happens. So that's just two massive errors that are completely humiliating, and they did it 2 in a row.
I love that recap there, but I just honestly couldn't believe it. I was like, a Hail Mary, like what? Like, and the Commanders fans went, absolutely berserk, which they should have. But yeah, man, I mean, overall, it sucked because Caleb Williams didn't even have a great performance, and that really just solidified, I feel like, Jaden Daniels' case to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, because if Caleb Williams would have outperformed him there, you would have had that, like, me versus you, Alabama versus Georgia, Munroe versus this one, Genty versus Hunter. Like, you can, like, if they match up, you can kind of see the scale there. But I don't know what happened. Caleb Williams didn't play that well. I didn't really watch most of the game, so I really can't like sit there and give like a judgment on it. I just saw the Hail Mary.
I feel absolutely horrible for that offensive lineman too. He's a backup center. Like that could have been his glory moment, and it was just like he's just the laughing stock of the NFL.
From that play.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Chiefs and Raiders, the Chiefs moved to 7-0. Could the Chiefs go undefeated this year? Is it possible? Like, obviously anything's possible, but like realistically, could they? When you think about it, like they got to lose one, right? Whew, man,
with Mahomes playing the way he is, they're definitely vulnerable for a loss. It's not like they've got it all together.
Yeah,
they're not the most put together undefeated team we've ever seen.
No, they're not. However, they're not even fully healthy right now.
The Bengals almost beat them. They lost by 2.
The Ravens did, but
lost by a field goal.
But good teams know how to find ways to win in the end. You can say reps versus this, however you want to go about it. They're not even fully healthy at this exact moment, so it's going to be interesting to see who is their next like tough opponent. I know they play the Steelers on Christmas Day, but that's not for a bit. But who do they play next that's like worth a damn? Anyways, as we were continuing, we were talking about the NFL and the Chiefs. Max, Travis Kelce.
The Chiefs.
Go ahead.
You said that you asked me before we lost. You asked me who the Chiefs play
next. Yep.
Of significance. They play the Bucks. Next game, they play the Broncos.
Oh yes, they play the Bucks on Monday night. Yeah, they're gonna win that.
That's a significant game, and then they've got the Bills.
Oh,
which is going to be another good game. So they have a chance to lose against the Bucks. The Bucks could definitely upset them. The Bills have a better chance of upsetting them.
In Kansas City though, or in Tampa?
In Burrowhead, yeah.
You mean you? Oh, Burrow, okay. Oh, the Chiefs got another Monday night game. They just had one against the Saints freaking 3 weeks ago. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. So you got they'll beat the Bucks at home. It'll be Bills.
I mean, you've got the Panthers are going to win. The Raiders are going to win. The Chargers could be a good
They
game.
should win. They should win that.
The Browns could upset them. They've got a great defense.
Wow.
Texans, Steelers, Broncos.
Yeah. The Chiefs could really.
I think they're 7-2 for the rest of the season.
Wow, so that means they're 15. Jeez, again, and they haven't even played their best football. Anyways, all right. Well, Travis Kelce scored a touchdown on National Tight Ends Day. There was a crazy parlay that I saw. It was like Travis Kelce, George Kittle, the rest of the tight ends. I forgot who else scored. I know Travis Kelce did. George Kittle scored. I don't know if Mark Andrews scored, but there was a bunch of the tight ends thing that scored, and I was like, holy crap, somebody hit that. I think it was like a 16-leg parlay. But yeah, Travis Kelce scored his first touchdown of the season, so that was cool to see. But yeah, I don't know what else. I think that's it for the NFL. We'll talk about a little bit of college football this weekend. We have Georgia, Florida this weekend. That'll be a good game. Hopefully Florida comes to play. You got Ohio State and Penn State. So there's really not that many good games in college football. Who do you got in your prediction for Penn State and Ohio State? 3 versus 4. Penn State's 3, Ohio State's 4.
I don't know. I haven't watched any football of either of those teams.
Well, I'll give you
Ohio State.
Ooh, Bing. Oh, Hannah, Ohio State. Ohio State. Yeah, it'll be a good game. It's actually 12 o'clock. I hate those early noon kickoff games. Can't you put that at 3:30? But yeah, there's not that many good games this weekend. Colorado's finally ranked, Max. They're 23. Remember we were having this conversation? Well, they're probably not going to be ranked because they really don't play anybody. And well, Travis Hunter probably won't be able to win Heisman because they're not ranked. But this Heisman race, we've been talking about it, the big 3, Genty, Ward, and
how did Genty do
Hunter
last weekend?
He had his, they said he had his worst game, but he had like 30 carries for like 130 yards against UNLV. It was a Friday night game. They won by 4.
Genty.
Yeah, he had 130 yards or 133. It was one or the other.
He had against which one? UNLV. He had 128 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, but he had like 25 carries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he didn't have they said that was his worst game. He had 128 yards and
carries.
33 carries. There it is. 30 or 30. Yeah. However, 128 yards in a game is still insane.
Yeah, it's still really
good. That's still, people are like, oh, he had his worst game. Well, he just had 133 yards. However, Ward didn't have a touchdown against FSU though. That's a big deal.
Yep.
So I don't know. I know.
This Heisman race is going to be crazy because we have two unorthodox players. We have a two-way man with Travis Hunter,
right?
Who, if it's not going to be a quarterback, and Genty keeps playing like he does, I can't see that Travis Hunter wins.
What about Cam Ward though?
I know. That's what I'm saying. If it's not a quarterback.
Oh, right. I gotcha.
I'm saying, so like the likelihood odds are, I think Genty should win.
Okay.
I think the odds are Ward wins.
Okay.
But I think if Ward doesn't win, I think it's Genty.
Okay.
And then it's Travis Hunter. I think Genty has to really fall off for Travis Hunter to win. And dude, a receiver.
I don't know. So somebody said that Rod Woodson actually did the Travis Hunter thing. He played both positions.
Really?
I didn't know that. However, anyways, I don't care about that. I'm sticking here on the Heisman race between these 3 here: Genty, Ward, and Hunter. If all these 3 teams are ranked, that goes out the window because you got, I think Miami's 6 right now. Boise State, I think, is 13, and Colorado's 23. However, if those 3 teams are ranked in the end, I think Hunter will finish 3rd. I really think that we had this conversation last week. If it plays out the way it's supposed to, Ward will finish as the Heisman finalist. He'll win the Heisman, and then it'll be Genty too. But if Genty has the season that he's having and he breaks all these Barry Sanders records, like you said, and we know quarterback is the most important position on the field, you're going to have to give it to Genty. You can't sit here and tell me if he breaks Barry Sanders records, they're going to get into the playoffs because of the 12 team. I've got it engraved now. He's got to win the Heisman. I understand a quarterback is the most important player on the field, but if what Genty is doing and how he's played and help his team get into the postseason, I think that's
exactly what I said last week.
Yeah. Yes. If a running back has more of an impact than a quarterback, has Genty though? Has he? Like, if he continues the way he is and he breaks Barry Sanders' record, you're gonna have to give it to him.
I think that's the only thing keeping Travis Hunter from winning the Heisman. Like if if Genty does break all of Barry Sanders' records, there's literally no way that Travis Hunter doesn't win.
I don't think Travis Hunter
that Genty
doesn't
there's
win.
no way that Genty doesn't win if he breaks all of Barry Sanders' records.
I don't think that Travis Hunter will win Heisman at this point. I think because of the injury he suffered, and then he didn't play that well against Arizona. They're on a bye week this week, of course. And I know he's playing corner and he's playing exceptional at corner, but his receiver stats also have to show up as well because they're trying to match those stats against Genty's stats. They're trying to I mean, Cam Ward's a quarterback, so obviously, but they're trying to match him against Genty, and they're trying to match him those two there. So I don't think Hunter will win the Heisman. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the odds right now, I think Ward is the favorite. I think it's Genty, then it's Hunter. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm excited because we're kind of getting to the end here now. College football season's flying by.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. Did you watch any of the FSU FSU Miami game?
Yeah, like 20 minutes of it.
Was it just abysmal to watch? I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, we'll briefly talk about the MLB with the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Yankees are down right now, 3-1. They finally won a game this last night against the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman has been on an absolute tear. I don't know. He's hit a home run, and I think it's, every game he's hit a home run in. But yeah, I mean, can the Yankees come back? I don't know. But I want to bring this one up here into the graphic, minus all that here, because we got to talk about the Mookie Betts thing. We'll talk about that in a second. This is an interesting one here, though, that I did see about Shohei Ohtani versus Aaron Judge in the World 2024 World Series. The game is going to be played tonight, so these stats are right now. 2 of 15, both hits and at-bats for two of them. They're both batting 133. Both have 0 home runs. No, Judge has 1 RBI, 2 walks. Judge has 7 Ks. Ohtani has 4 Ks. Everybody has been hating on Aaron Judge because he's been so abysmal this postseason, let alone with this World Series. Where is the same judgment for Ohtani when you pull up the graphic and the stats right next to each other? Why isn't Ohtani getting the same exact treatment that Aaron Judge is getting? Before Shohei Ohtani's injury, before the subluxation it's called? Subluxation. Before that injury, before he hurt his elbow and he's like this when he's going to the bases and he's trying to steal the base and he's holding his shirt, where has that been for Ohtani since he's played so poor? Why is it all to Judge? Can anyone answer that? No, because they just want to say Judge. Well, Ohtani's played just as bad, if not worse. And the Dodgers will probably win the World Series, whatever. But when you compare these two players in the World Series, they've played just about even.
I think the reason is the Yankees are losing, and they need a scapegoat.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It doesn't matter how bad you play. If your team's winning, you're not going to get criticized. Well, you're going to get criticized, but you don't. It's because they're losing.
Questions to end the show, just a few. Aaron Rodgers' future in the NFL. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be retiring after this season. I don't think he's going to be. I honestly think Aaron Rodgers is done after this season, especially if the way it continues to play it out. I don't think he comes back. He doesn't have anything else left to prove. He's just hurting his stats even more than what he's doing. So, do you think the Jets are the most overrated team in the NFL? I'll give you this one here.
No. I don't think they're overrated.
Who do you think the most overrated team in the NFL is?
Overrated?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anyone thinks the Jets are well rated.
No, I don't think so. That was
who else would be overrated?
Right now,
the Steelers aren't overrated. Their record says they're good. But I don't think anyone thinks that the Steelers are better than they are.
I like that.
They're just winning, and everyone's shocked by it.
Yep.
I think the Vikings might be overrated.
I think they are. I like that. I think the Vikings are overrated. I think they've kind of come back down to surface level now.
Yeah.
What do the Giants have to do to become a playoff team? I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I gave you my suggestions earlier in the podcast. I don't think they will.
No chance.
Yankees game 4, they played good. It was a bullpen game. Everyone expected them to win because it's the Dodgers bullpen. But tonight we'll see with Flaherty and Cole in game 5. What do you think of the neutral sites for Florida, Georgia, while Jacksonville is being renovated in the 2026-2027? I think it takes away from the atmosphere of college football. Obviously, I know that's just the way it's going to be because Everbank is going to be, or TIAA Field, Everbank, whatever, is going to be renovated. It's just how it is going to be. They're going to be at Raymond James and Mercedes-Benz. It's just something that the players are going to have to suck up. At that point in 26 and 27, we'll see how that plays out. But guys, thanks again for tuning in to another episode of the Inquisitive Mamba Podcast. We hit on so many good topics tonight. It was a pleasure to record for you guys as always. 60 subscribers from 1,000. Sorry for the camera malfunctions. Happy Halloween tomorrow. Stay safe, everyone out